It's a season of stark contrast for Australia's wheat growers, with those in the west and south set for bumper crops, while those in the east are badly frostbitten. National Australia Bank Director of Commodities Tim Glass said the latest frost event had hit crops across 1.7 million hectares in New South Wales. Farmers could have expected this to boost prices by tightening supply, but supply was actually softening because of production booms in WA and South Australia. The West Australian crop was now forecast to reach 9 million tonne, up from 7. South Australia looks set to harvest 6 million tonne, up from 4, so mixed fortunes. Opportunities for food producers in expanding export markets could be jeopardised without significant investment in transport and other infrastructure, according to a new report this week. Federal Agriculture Minister Barnaby Joyce welcomed the economic assessment of infrastructure released by the Australian Bureau of Agricultural and Resource Economics and Sciences. Agricultural infrastructure was coming under massive pressure as farm productivity grew, according to National Farmers Federation President Duncan Fraser. West Australian Lands Minister Brendan Grills is facing a Supreme Court battle over the planned terms of new pastoral leases covering about 90 million hectares of the state. Veteran WA cattleman Don Hoare warned he would take legal action against Brendan Grills if any attempt was made to vary the terms of his lease over 640,000 hectares in the Pilbara, according to the West Australian. The real estate industry, banks and investors have said changes to the leases could create a legal minefield, with the uncertainty causing jitters in the market. SheepMap, the national quality assurance system used to assure low risk for ovine Johne's disease, is under review to ensure it continues to be technically sound. According to peak industry bodies, the Sheep Meat Council of Australia and Wool Producers Australia, this week the review was needed because of recent scientific advancements and OJD management policy changes. SheepMap was designed to allow producers to demonstrate low risk when selling and to make informed decisions when buying. It was anticipated the OJD review would be completed early next year. As seasonal conditions in drought-hit northern New South Wales and large parts of Queensland improved, producers may continue to suffer, according to a leading agronomist. Meat and Livestock Australia said this week that northern New South Wales agronomist Mick Duncan had warned the amount of suffering would depend on pasture management decisions made now. Reducing grazing and fertiliser could affect pasture productivity and persistence in the future, he said. Bega Cheese is headed for a board meeting this week to consider changes to its bid for Warrnambool cheese and butter, with its price on the rise as Kiwi Fonterra continued buying Bega stock. Bega shares tipped over $5 to trade as high as $5.15 this week, making its cash and scrip offer for Warrnambool more valuable than the $8 cash bid for Canada's Saputo, News Limited reported. Global dairy giant Fonterra was again said to be in the market for Bega shares to fulfil its aim of securing a 10% stake in the New South Wales dairy processor. Finally this week, China's agricultural sector is struggling to meet food demand from an increasingly urbanised population, a situation that experts say could be addressed by government farm land reforms this week. The Chinese farm sector consisted largely of small plots close to half-empty villages where production was based on traditional means passed down through generations. Plausible solutions to these challenges included introducing large-scale farms, new technologies and unified land markets, according to the China Daily. These solutions were likely to be introduced at the Communist Party of China's 18th Central Committee meeting to begin this week. And that's all in Digital Farm TV for this week. We'll be back next week.